Good day to who that in front of this video. I'm Devika, the first presenter of this video as well. I'm 21 years old adult and also I'm from Bayalapas, Penang. While after I graduated from my high school, actually I feel too confused to choose between working or continue my further studies. But absolutely you're right. I choose continue my further studies in business of Central College Penang. Otherwise you cannot see me here, right? Now, I would like to give a short briefing about suicide among youth in Malaysia. Suicide is defined as internationally taking one's own life and comes from the Latin suicidable, which literally means to kill oneself. Suicide is also a problematic issue as being a serious health problem in Malaysia from 2014 to 2020. According to the Statistic Department, the graph started to increase from 2014 to 2020 between 18 to 34 age. This research is identified the factor including cyberbullying, depression and stress among youth in Malaysia. There are 45% increase in cyberbullying cases in Malaysia among youth. Cyberbullying has caused significant issue for deaths involved ranging from extreme display of anger to suicide attempt. Moreover, there has been 62% increase in stress case among youth. The result signifies that stress is indicate affect students academically as well as emotionally. And at the last is depression. Depression is a mood disorder that causes persistent feeling of sadness, emptiness and loss of job. Kanageshwari, do you agree with my opinion?
Yes, Devika, I did agree with your opinion. Hi everyone, I'm Kanageshwari here, 22 years old from Georgetown, Penang. I'm a student that study Diploma in Business Study in Central College, Penang. Yes, I did agree with Devika. Cyberbullying, depression, stress. Yes, they did affect the suicide among youths in Malaysia. Cyberbullying. What is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is a person bullies another person virtually. Nowadays, we are living in a world of internet and technologies. Youths and teenagers nowadays using mobile phones. They have their social medias. Example of social medias: Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter and Instagram. Because of these social medias, they are a person or unknown person, they will be bullying these youths and teenagers. These youths and teenagers also, they are still young, so they will take the action of suicide. They can't deal with, they don't know how to deal with it. The next is depression. Depression. Nowadays, youths and teenagers are depressed on many problems. For example, family problems, illness problems, mental problems, living problem, relationship problem, friends problem. They are depressed with many kinds of problems. They easily can't handle it. They also take the action of suicide again. The next thing is stress. Stress also is the most common issue in youths and teenagers in Malaysia nowadays. Stress. Youths and teenagers are stressed about many problems. For example, low income after graduation, high expectation from their parents in educational level, high housing prices in Malaysia, high unemployment, and also high living costs. These and many more. But these problems are the major cause that makes the teenagers and the youths to take the action of suicide again. This is because they can't handle it and they will be stressed themselves from thinking and thinking. This will affect the suicide. Now, let's see if Pradina agree with my opinion. Pradina, now it's your turn.
Thank you, Kanages. Hi, I'm Pradina here and I'm 20 years old and I'm from Perak. Now I'm going to explain how cyberbullying affects the suicide. The current study likewise shows that cyberbullying significantly affects suicidal behavior of behaving, substance use, brutal way of behaving and sexual way of behaving as actual traumatic. This finding additional proof that likewise outcome of cyberbullying rather than physical harassing and cyberbullying has been viewed as more challenging to stay away from unknown and liable to match with different type of the way models examined in the study confirmed. These perspectives affect the cyberbullying by demonstrating that use and aggressive conduct might explain how both physical and cyberbullying enhance the likelihood of suicidal behavior in teenagers.
Okay, Prerina. Now I'm gonna explain on two parts. Who is our target? What we can assume. Who is our target? Our target is youths and teenagers in Malaysia. What we can assume? We assume that youths suicide cases in Malaysia will be reduced in worldwide and also in Malaysia. We assume that youngsters and youths in Malaysia will be more confident, will have more self-esteem and more confident in their self so that they can handle cyberbullying, depression and stress. They will take these problems as a piece of paper and handle it maturely and talk to others about these problems. Talk to their parents, their friends, whoever they can trust it, so that these problems won't end with suicide case. This will help the youngsters and help to reduce the suicide case in Malaysia. Okay, now let's see what Prerina has played her part. Bye.
Thank you, Kanagis. This section will discuss the relationship among cyberbullying, depression, stress, and suicide. The research framework is introduced that describe the theory and explain why the research problem under the study exists. Our first hypothesis is the relationship between cyberbullying and suicide, that being a victim of suicide should be significant and positively associated with the cyberbullying. As I discussed below, in testing this hypothesis, our data allow us to examine the implication not only traditional nations of suicide, for example, cyberbullying, depression and stress, but also suicide which has generated significant reason. Attention suicide involved the use to mistreat others. It has attracted significant attention in part because report of its increasing prevalence, but little is known about how it may affect their behavior. This shows that there is a positive relationship among cyberbullying and suicide. Our second hypothesis involves the variable that the relationship between depression and suicide. Young victims of the suicide report higher level depression and suicidal thoughts. This study investigates the effect of suicidal victimization on depression with gender and age as a moderating factor. The result shows that gender was a significant predictor of depression, with the females being higher than the males on the measure. There is a positive relationship among depression and suicide. Our third hypothesis involves the variable that the relationship between stress and suicide. Found the suicide victimization was positively associated with the stress and negatively related to the self-esteem among the youngsters. Research suggesting that being a victim of the suicide has negatively impact on the both physical and psychological health. In general, individuals have a fundamental psychological need to peer a group to be accepted by their peers. Therefore, being a stress in youngsters may cause suicidal ideation and reduce the well-being. Our result also suggests that being stressed as a considered impact on the development of negative emotional response that can lead to reduce the level of psychological adjustment, such as increase the suicidal ideation. That's all from our group. Thank you for listening.